Hello everyone, Miss Carrie here from Miss Carrie's Creations. Today I'm collaborating with scrapbook.com to show you some simple holiday gift decorating projects that you can make using a kit from Violet Studio. This time of year, the days get shorter and my schedule gets busier. So I like to be able to grab an all-inclusive kit that makes my life a little easier. This gift decorating kit from Violet Studio is packed full of items that you can use to amp up your gifts and make it look like you spent lots of hours putting together the present. So I want to first open up the box here on camera because I adore those companies who make you feel special when you open up one of their kits. Not only is this box simply adorable and reusable, when you open it, all the items are wrapped in red tissue paper, which also makes this a great gift to give. Inside the box, you're going to find printed ribbon, holiday twine, some washi tape, which you can also use on your paper crafting projects, a mix of pom-poms, a roll of stickers, and a package of printed tags and twine. There is so much in here that I will be able to use. Today, I want to share a few gift packaging ideas with you. Each fall, I do lots of canning, so one of our favorite items to give is homemade jelly or jam. Now, the gift wrapping ideas I'm going to share with you are ones that I'm going to use for my jelly jars, but you could use these ideas for any gift in a jar. I'm going to start with a very simple topper covering created with a 6x6 pattern paper. You can also do this with fabric, but I have plenty of holiday paper that needs using, and this is a great way to use it up. I've selected one of the patterns from this Home for Christmas paper pad, and I'm going to mist the back of it to make it a little bit more malleable. I'm going to fold this over the top of my jar and use my hands to shape it. The water has helped to soften the fibers, and as it dries, it will mold to the top of the jar. I'm just going to arrange the pleats a little bit here, make sure everything's flat, and then I'll let it sit a moment to dry. While it's drying, I'm going to cut off a piece of ribbon so that I can sew some pom-poms to the end. I'm going to use this lovely piece of printed ribbon, and I'm just going to cut it a little bit larger than the size of the jar. I'm going to use a needle and some cotton thread to attach the pom-pom with a few little stitches. I've gathered up the end of the ribbon, and I'm going to push my needle through the ribbon, and then I'm going to push it through the pom-pom and just do a couple of little stitches here to attach the pom-pom in place. I'm going to tie this off, and then we have a cute little ribbon with decorations on the end. If you do not sew, you could use a hot glue gun to attach the pom-poms in place. Once the pom-poms are attached to the ribbon, you can just wrap this around a jar and tie a little bow. If you want to, you could add one of the stickers to the top of the jar or attach a pre-made tag to the ribbon. I'm going to make my own tag with one of the stickers and some of the pattern paper. I cut this pattern paper out with a circle die, and then I'm going to punch a few holes in the top and thread some of the twine through. This twine came from the kit, and I'm just going to push it through the holes using a needle threader, and then I'll attach it to the jar. Now, this is a very simple way to decorate a little jar for the holidays, and it didn't take me much time at all. The next example is even easier to create. I have already cut some of the pattern paper into some 2.5-inch strips, and I've wrapped them around the jar and attached them with a few strips of double-sided tape. To decorate the metal lid, I'm going to wrap some washi tape around it. Now, you could also wrap this with twine or ribbon, but I really like using washi tape because it's easy to remove. And most people are going to be using these jelly jars and placing them in their fridge to store them. So it's going to be nice for them to be able to remove that washi tape when they're getting ready to use the jelly. On top of my jar, I'm going to add a circle of pattern paper, which I cut with a die. If you don't have a die the right size, you could always trace the lid and cut it by hand. I am going to wrap some twine around this jar and tie a little knot to secure it. And then I'll add a tag from the tag bundle and attach it to the front of the jar with some adhesive. I have made a little bow here, which I'm going to attach to the top of the tag. On the ends of the twine, I did add 2 little pom-poms because they are just too stinking cute. Now behind that tag, I'm going to add a few pine sprigs that I cut from cardstock using a die. You could also use real pine sprigs if you have them, or another natural element, or just skip this altogether. I'm just going to pop these on here with some liquid adhesive, and then we have a second jar all decorated and ready to go. Again, this is a really simple way to dress up those gift jars you're giving during the holiday season. Now this last one was assembled off camera using the same techniques that I shared with the other 2 jars. For this gift, I'm using a treat bag, which you can buy from a party supply store or a hobby store, and I've placed 2 smaller jars inside. The jars have washi tape wrapped around the lids and a little paper circle on the top jar. To keep these from toppling over in the bag, I did add a little glue dot in between the 2 jars. On the ribbon, I stitched some little pink and white pom-poms onto the ends, and then I tied it up into a bow. I needed the tag to be a little bit longer, so I layered 2 of the tags together and added a little bit of stitching. I tied it onto the top of the bag with some of the gray twine. And then with all of the pink and blue colors, I felt like it needed a little bit of glitz. So I brought in some blue crystals from my stash to give it a little bit of that Christmas spirit. Now I'm going to share some close-ups of these 3 jars so that you can see them in a little bit more detail. Quick, simple gifts like these are great to have on hand during the holidays. Sometimes I forget about a teacher gift, or I need a host gift, or I want to thank a neighbor. So it's nice to have quick, simple gifts like these ready to go. If you're one who likes to pin photos to inspiration boards, I have added more still shots of this project in my scrapbook.com gallery and on my website for you to use. If you have any questions about this project or the supplies I used, feel free to leave me a comment. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.